isn't particularly good. So I will say this time around from Team Tickles, their draft, even if they do make a couple mistakes in the laning stage, it won't just fall apart. Or it shouldn't fall apart just based off of how the lineup.
Keyword shouldn't though. So
it is a keyword. I mean, I think after last game, if you get behind in the manner you did, your lineup has no ability to just come back. So this one at least has some comeback potential. They got a lot more rounded heroes, and honestly, their safe lane should go better too. Wind Ranger is just a stronger hero than TA this patch, just because these universal heroes like these Snapfire, Wind Rangers, really strong in the off lane just because of how much damage they do, or in the safe lane. I mean, Wind Ranger right now is played mid, carry, off lane, whatever position, just because of how strong the laning stage is of this hero.
And there's back-to-back games now for Tickles where they've gone for this really late smoke. So this was under the Observer Ward mid lane though, so of course Tundra have full awareness of what's going on. They just don't particularly know the pathing at the moment.
Bit of a stalemate here. I think both teams realize if they go to the opposite side of the river, they will die. So it's just a bit of a waiting game. 10 seconds till the rune comes out, and we'll see if any action happens here. I mean, the smoke is still running here.
The battle begins.
Probably going to say Radiant have a more favorable level 1 as well, and well, Naaman's just going to run straight into them, and Tundra going to lick their lips. They get first blood. They might even get the kill into Tickles as well. The Pure is getting beat down. His right clicks from Onan into Tickles. Pure, he'll get out of danger. Looks like Tickles is going to be okay as well, but both these heroes will take a lot of harass. Where did that first blood go? It looks like Whitemon got the kill, and Tickles got the rebuttal for Tickles.
I really like the fact that the Wind Ranger just let the Sven live. Like, he could have chased him down and potentially killed him, but going to the laning stage with 20% HP, it honestly feels
I thought you were
worse
joking,
than death.
honestly. I thought you were joking at first.
No,
like,
no, I'm
so,
100%
like,
serious.
like, nah, what was he actually doing? Why did he go for the kill? But, yeah, I mean, less resources now for Pure.
When you go to lane with 20% HP, you might as well be dead. Like, because, like, he's gonna just not be able to have the same pressure that he had before. I actually haven't seen this in a long time. Pure just dropped his Quelling Blade to CS. That used to be something that happened a long time ago when you'd min-max or CSing. Haven't seen it in a long time. Kind of
no, that's some old nerd stuff, right? I mean, we've got a lot of like really new mechanics. I mean, I guess the first one comes to mind, the min-maxing with like swapping out attributes when you're getting mana or health back in particular. Your strength treads swapping as well, but yeah, we haven't seen the Quelling Blade swap for a while.
I mean, generally speaking, like, you haven't had time.
Whoa. Oh no,
that's not good.
The
struggle continues.
That's like really the big strength out of the Wind Ranger, right? Like your laning stage in particular.
Well, it's supposed to be, but maybe there's a little bit of nerves. Hard to say what causes that. Maybe one little mistake, but these little mistakes can snowball in a big way, especially when you draft this hero for you as your last pick to do well, and already not off to a hot start here.
How have you kind of dabbled into the Wind Ranger as well? I know you were saying it's very strong at the moment as a carry. Have you experimented with it?
Oh, definitely. It's very strong laner. I mean, the one downside of this hero is the fact that it doesn't flash farm, right? You don't have this cleave ability like the Sven has, but the one plus side it has is the fact that it generally just crushes its lane really hard. Just because the power shot, it adds a slow now, which is really great for the laning stage. You can always get out of trouble with the wind run, and of course, once you win your lane, you get that focus fire up to that javelin. It can pretty much make the offlaner's lane completely miserable. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good things for it. It's not just saying if you lose the lane with Wind Ranger, your game is like completely over. But that's definitely one of the strongest parts of the hero. And of course, there's so many good things this hero can provide. To mention one of them, Disperser being super popular in this patch, Maelstrom being popular in this patch, and guess what? Wind Ranger loves both those items.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is like the item build for Wind Ranger kind of cookie cutter, or is there? It's kind of you can go down different routes.
It's an interesting hero. Like, there's a set amount of items that you can get with this hero, but it's pretty cookie cutter in the sense that you're only going to be picking from a couple items. Like Diffusal Blade's going to be one of them, Maelstrom's going to be the other, into the Gleipnir. At some point, you want your BKB. You know, Aghanim Scepter is always an option, and of course, Pike. Those are like the big items for the hero.
Okay.
But in which order you build those is going to be game dependent.
We'll see what the choice is going to be from Onet. There's still struggling a little bit off the back of the early death. Meanwhile, though, we haven't particularly touched too much on this mid lane, and Topson is in a little bit of trouble at the moment. Once again, it's going to be up to 9 class to respond to the TP in from Ducalis, and looks like it will be enough to protect Topson. It's going to get a lot of damage out onto Lorinov, and with another round of the spells out of the Pango, he might be in some trouble, and he's just got nowhere to run. He's going to try and go over down to the south, but Topson can easily close the distance. And again, 9 class, the instant response from the Nature's Prophet TP.
Yeah, I have not felt the presence of a Nature's Prophet. I've felt the presence of the Hoodwink, and the Hoodwink is just responding to the NP. It feels like the NP is just backfiring on them. Like, he comes in every single time with Ducalis like, oh, I'm NP, I can be here, I can dive you. But the reality is, that's the issue. They're diving, right? So the point to where every single time, 9 class can just respond underneath the tower. And it's like they have their own Nature's Prophet in that regard. If you're going to dive under the tower, you're going to get a response from the enemy pos 4. So you're not really getting much of an advantage. I think they need to use this NP a little bit differently and not just dive under towers. Like, fight in open areas where you can't just TP immediately. Use the advantage you have of this teleportation.
This is back-to-back early games. Been very impressed though out of the Hoodwink, and I mean this is an individual who's probably lesser known. I'd say definitely if you take a look at Tundra, they've got some incredibly well-known players, but I mean 9 class is very, very high up on the leaderboard, ranked 6 in Europe, which I mean pretty ridiculous with all the players you've got there. Of course, you previously played on like some tier 3 Eastern European teams. Played a little bit in the DPC as well in Division 2, but it is really showing up huge here for Tundra.
Most definitely is here. And like, what lane is even going good? I suppose the Ember lane was going fine, but after a couple of rotations, CS-wise it was going fine, but after a couple of rotations and a death, but yeah, the Pango's top net worth now, and yet again another game where all 3 lanes are won by Tundra. And generally, when you have a game where 2 games in a row that one team wins the laning stage, that generally speaking is just a skill gap. I hate to say it, where the other team is just like individually just stronger laners. And we're gonna have to come back through team fight and execution on the side of Team Tickles here, because it seems like their laning stage is not their strong suit. Or at least it has to be through team fight execution. Otherwise, well, this game is going to be quite difficult for them, because the laning stage is already 3k at 6.5 minutes. Yeah. That is huge.
We'll see how easy this attempt's going to be onto MC top. Maybe it's not even one. Potentially Narman's looking to snipe. 9 class is already well aware of this potential shenanigans out in Narman, so see who's going to be able to pick this one up. Oh, you got it. All right, at least Narman's able to get it this time.
Yeah, I mean, now 9 class is mad.
Ooh.
Oh, no. They don't have detection for this.
Okay.
And they got a rotation on Topson, too. He just got away with murder. He literally just got away with murder. He got a rotation from the mid. He got the Wisdom Rune. Life is good. I mean, that's a step in the right direction there. Double Wisdom Rune at 7 minutes. Forcing a rotation.
The instant call from Lorinov as well, of course, with the mid laner not showing, he drags the wave, so it means that his own creep wave goes under the tower, which is pretty much almost a full wave denied. White Mom was able to get nearby and circle a little bit of that up, but nice little play from Lorinov.
And Pure getting away with greed here as well, able to go for that broadsword right away over the Morbid Mask, as Mask of Madness does require a broadsword now instead of the quarterstaff of before. So a little bit of farming efficiency here. But you only can do this whenever you have like a free lane, and as you can see, much like game number 1, his lane is completely free, even though he started the lane with like 10% health. Or maybe even less, like 5% from the laning stage. Not the laning stage, but the pre-rune fight. It didn't seem to slow him down whatsoever. I think a lot of it comes down to, man, this bounty hunter hero has been super. Yeah, you were annoying. You took away the rune and stuff, but his laning presence is like, compare that to 9 class, right, on this hoodwink. It's a night and day difference of like what you can do in the laning stage as a bounty hunter.
Have they got the damage for pure, even with Nature's Prophet?
He's got 20 Swan, by the way, and infused raindrops. I'm gonna have to say, even if they bring 5, they probably don't.
It's just taking so long. I mean, Waimon again is going to take the gank. And we'll see if there's going to be a response out of Tundra, what the call is from them. Pure's going to be able to land the stun. It's a nice vacuum. Stops the blast off from connecting. They will still get the kill nonetheless, and Topson's ready with a Rolling Thunder as well. He'll turn his attention over to Narman. Lacking the detection a little bit too late though, so Narman's able to step out.
I had another failed rotation from Topson as well, so at least they're controlling Topson this game. They're not stopping his farm. Yeah, they're not stopping his farm, but imagine he was getting kills on top of the top net worth. So that's good. As Wind Ranger will make her way down here as well. Focus fire down the tower. And things aren't great, but they're better than last game, so at least that's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, it's so rough to say when it's 4,000 deficit. Like, it's better than last game, though. And we'll see finally they get lucky this time. Lorinov has not been able to work with any power runes this game. Pretty nice sprout. But Topson's going to go uncontested, and with the spell casting out of the pain clear, it means that Lorinov is going to be in some trouble. Remnant over to the cliff, but Topson can continue to chase. He's going to be able to go for the kill instead. Wants to catch up to Dakala, sings a
defusal now
out of the Nature's Prophet, and yeah, Lorinov is going to be cautious potentially. Still got some remnants to work with, but nonetheless, I mean, these are just free kills for the boys on Tundra, and MC's he's fine as well. I mean, the Mag has got a blink dagger now.
Mag's got a blink. Pango's got a defusal at 10 minutes. I don't even know what happened this game. Like, I kind of know, but at the same time, like, it hasn't been that bad. It's only 6 kills, right? But like, they just got outplayed so hard in the laning stage that there's just gold on every single hero, like an exuberant amount of gold. Like a blink at 10 minutes, you've got a diffusal blade at 10 minutes, Mask of Madness, and what else is on Pure for Cure? He's on his way to like an Echo Saver. Like,
His first RP with the blink reveal. They're going to be able to drag him back to Topson. Have fun with your win run. Instant Diffusal is going to be able to inhibit him. And they've like, look at bottom. You got 2 heroes looking at a Sven, but like, what are you going to be able to do? Again,
they're looking.
He's got 1 charges, and so another time where you're like wanting to potentially make this go onto a carry down bottom, and you don't have the damage.
I mean, this must have worked in some scrims, right, for Team Tickles, or like they ran some Nature's Prophet plus Bounty Hunter, and they did well in the laning stage with the Darkseer, and they probably just ran them over and like, all right, this is gonna be our strat for the week, right? And unfortunately, sometimes your scrims do not indicate whether it's gonna work in an official match, and it's kind of proving here too. And well, they're gonna try and go on Pure, but they might actually get him Pulling Blade in the backpack. The Pulling Blade is in the backpack. Sprout,
and I mean, what that happened last game, right? Except you wanted the dust instead, I think, from MC. So you needed that. I mean, that was a must kill from Tickles. All these rotations have not been paying off for them. Finally, you're going to be able to bring down Pure. You know, we do see though what happens. I mean, Topson gets the Arcane Rune. The Tier 1 tower goes down mid lane. So in the end, still Tundra, not the worst.
Pure is giving one of those per game, you know, just not having Pulling Blade ready versus NP. I mean, actually, the last game he just used it randomly on a tree farming. True. So it was on cooldown. This time he had a raindrop in his backpack instead, and then he just got sprouted on top of a wall on top of a double ion shell. He could have easily walked out of that, by the way.
All right, not bad. Another kill, especially now with the tracks as well. So we're going to have to see them continuing to play aggressive here from Tickles.
This is the comeback I mentioned in the lineup that it does have, right? Like, you can make things happen on the map. If they had no stuns before, that wouldn't be possible, but with some chains available this time around, it can work. The only concern I do have right now for the side of Team Tickles is, well, okay, Ducalis is dead, but my biggest concern right now is, like, this is not a Wind Ranger game it's supposed to go. It's not supposed to look like this. I'm afraid that Like last game, you have a TA farming. You're like, okay, well, it's fine. It's TA. She's going to get farmed. Wind Ranger isn't good at coming back through hitting creeps. Like, you're really far behind on Olnit. And I think he needs to just join the fray. Make things happen. His hero is really strong. His spells are strong. His hero is strong, but it's not good at farming these neutral camps.
So if your playstyle is wanting to match trying to be active with the rest of your team, does Maelstrom kind of enable that? Because it's a farming item, right? Or is this, would you prefer another item to get a little bit more active for the Wind Ranger?
No, I mean, it's fine. You still need to be able to farm. And plus, it's one of the highest DPS items that goes with the focus fire, right? So I think you get that item like no matter what, for the most part. You can maybe argue some games that Diffusal Blade first can work, but not in this particular game. And plus, it'll slow your farm down too much. I just think you do have a bounty hunter. You do have an NP. You have an Ember that's ready to go. You just run at them as 5. You find a way to kill this Sven now, because if you wait every single minute that goes by, you're going to probably be down 100, 200 GPM on this Sven just because of the difference in heroes, right? Or as you can potentially kill the Sven, you can slow down his farm. But that being said, you do have the Maelstrom online, so your farming speed will catch up a little bit. Well, you're not going to catch up to anything, but it will speed up a little bit. You're not really slowing Sven's down. So that's still my big concern here. Level 13 Sven farming versus level 10 of Wind Ranger right now. Both these guys just been hitting creeps the whole game.
Should be a nice little freebie. Ooh, very interesting placement to go for the TPR. Very cute with the placement, but not enough. All right, another kill, another track.
Do they not see this ward? Oh, I think he's trying to get vision on that ward. He just... Alright, that's... Either they don't know, or they're just going to let it sit there for a little bit, but Whitemon did place a nice little ward there.
The freebie onto Tickles as well. Pretty deep vision from 9 class, and MC was in the area to be able to connect to, so... A couple of supports going down. We do still see, though, Tickles wanting to try and play around this mid lane. You got the power rune up in 20 seconds, and importantly, you got a tier 1 tower that must go down. They want to respond, though, Tundra. MC is going to come in. RP at the ready. Narman's going to try and get the tracks going. MC is going to find the bounty, though. So nice little start. Narman, he'll have some reinforcements nearby. It's not the cleanest kill. Mechanism's going to be too late to repair. Meanwhile, MC gets focused down from Olnit, and Lorenov as well was able to find the remnant at the last second. So a 2 for 2 is Olnit in some danger, though. Pure still got some God Strength remnants to be able to work with. Thompson doesn't have anything left. He's going to try and jump over the top to deal with Lorenov, but quick jump to the right side. Looks like Lorenov is okay.
Yep, and goes and gets out of there. I like how Olnit did decide to join that fight. Ends up killing the mag in that one. Signs of life here. Being able to take these fights. Luring off with those really well-placed remnants, I'd say. There's 2 times I think he would have been dead if he didn't have a remnant available away from the team fight. And I think that's just how he has to do it for now. This isn't the type of game where he can just commit everything. Not yet, at least. He's going to need a couple more items here. Going into that Maelstrom. And then, yeah, the wall vacuum was pretty decent there, too. But I think they're going to wait for an opportunity where they can get an even better one with a little bit more levels in that vacuum. Only 2 points right now, so not the biggest AoE. But I want them to see them keep being aggressive here on the side of Team Tickles now. You got your Bounty Hunter. You've got a really high-tempo lineup. Make it happen, and they will find 9 class here.
At least it's going to be a track kill.
That was nice.
Unfortunately.
It was cute.
Cuban no cigar, still a kill onto, yeah, the Hoodwink. Unfortunately, you are wanting those core kills, but at least it's track kills nonetheless, so being able to get a little bit of gold in the bank. Down to a 4,000 net worth lead here for Tundra.
They're really shard on the darks here. Interesting. A little more damage, I suppose. I mean, I don't play darks here. It's like, I don't know why this is good, but I'm just gonna assume it's good. Sometimes there's like these shards that you like for heroes you just don't play, and like, what the hell does that do? I mean, it leaves a trail. Like, I see what it does. I just don't understand why is it good this game.
Yeah,
it slows enemies. Okay.
kind of like a feeling thing, right? Sometimes for a hero in particular, where maybe in a game it might be a little bit difficult to play without that item or something.
Yeah,
you
for
need to
sure.
play the hero multiple times to be able to get that idea.
Pretty good with the Ember too, I guess.
Speaking of the Ember, Lorenov. Yeah, let's go to this tier 2 tower. This is a very difficult position for them to be able to go for these dives. They're playing like you're wanting them to.
I mean, that's the feel thing where you're talking about, right? Like, you put this ion shell on top of the Ember, and the moment he slides anyone, it's going to apply that trail, which is going to instantly slow them. So even more annoyance to the sleight of fist here. Makes sense. I think this is a very specific to having an Ember on your team thing.
Is it from the shell or the surge?
It says it's from the surge. So you just surge the Ember, and then he uses the slight, and then all of a sudden he slows everyone in an AoE.
You are coming out. MC on the front as well. Got to be careful if they're grouped up here. They're going to be able to cancel the blink. Thompson's still able to get towards the backline, but there wasn't the RP to start, and MC might not get it off with the damage they're dealing onto the Magnus. Steps over to the left side. Meanwhile, it's still a messy fire from Tickles. Lorenov having zero impact at the moment for the Emperor. They're going to try and find a way to re-enter. A BKB from Pure at a perfect timing stops the shackles, and even without the RP from MC, it really doesn't matter in the end.
All right. Well, they got the BKB out of the Sven, so they are keeping the gold lead to 5,000. I mean, they had a 5k gold lead at like 10 minutes, right? And it's now 20 minutes, and it's still the same. So that's good. That's actually really good, especially because you're playing versus a Magnus Sven. These heroes are known for farming really, really quickly. So the fact you're able to trade these kills and just... And they're going straight for the Sven here. He has no BKB. If they can manage to find him here, and guess what? Quelling Blade, it's in the backpack for Pure. if they can find him, but it looks like they're going to go somewhere else.
They're going to try and hunt towards Tundra's high ground instead. It's like Whitemon's going to be the first point of contact. It's pretty difficult kill, just running up into the mines, and they're so hesitant. Tickles feel like this is not a fight that they want to take. You know, MC's ready if someone sticks around a little bit too long. Unfortunately, just lacking 150 gold until the Harpoon. Very cool that this Tekkers heroes with proximity mine can have so much vision advantage for a team.
Quite nice indeed. I mean, Whitebond's been doing a really good job being like the first point of contact in almost every single engagement, right? He just knows exactly where they're at. It's just good map sense. That's all there is to it. And him realizing as a position 5 player what he needs to do. I think it was Poppy was one of the first players that really kind of like invented this playstyle with his Enchantress of just using your position 5 lowest net worth hero as a point of vision. Because Sven doesn't want to go in first. Mag, he wants to go in when they have vision. Let's put it that way. These heroes want to go in when they see a target. They don't want to go in blind. So someone's got to give the vision. And Whitebond's been doing an exceptional job this game of being that vision for the team. Whether it's his body on the line or his minds, whatever it might be, he's giving the information so that Pure and so MC can have better forms of initiation.
Speaking about vision, it's a very early gem pickup as well. 22 minutes in, Thompson running around with the gem, so... Might be able to dive to Carlos under the tower. There's that Harpoon. MC freshly completed. Gonna go fishing and find a freebie, and a little bit of, there's even a double damage rune down bottom if they want that to help with some of the objective taking.
One night, twice.
Yeah, why not? Building their lead up now. I think the thing they're really waiting for right now is going to be Wind Ranger BKB. Because you've hit a point now where Pure, Blink, BKB, Echo, Mask of Madness, it's all online, right? He wants to fight. He's good to go. And if you look at the other side as well, you got your Harpoon, Blink on the Magnus. Thompson has Blink, Ags, Diffusal. All these guys have every item they could ever wish for to fight. But you're not quite ready on Team Tickles. You want some more items. I think Ember's good to go. Darkseer's been good to go. I think he wants his Blink, which he's really close to. And then the last thing that you really need is Ulnet. Well, that's not going to work.
Oh, no. You can't have that happening. It's just Whitemon again, man. Like, the support from Tundra, we of course sang the praises from 9 class in the early game, then you were just highlighting what Whitemon's been able to do for Tundra, and even he's able to set up that catch onto Ona Twin Ranger.
Yeah, and he's just trying to farm his BKB there. He may have had a chance of living if he would just keep running, but you can't... I mean, Ona's just having a really rough series, I want to say. He's having a rough one. You can't just TP out in front of a techies like that. The blast-off has a stun, you know, and it will go off before your TP goes off. I guarantee you that every single time. Not quite reading that one well enough. And he goes down again, and this is how this game can get a bit out of hand really quickly. It's like they're all waiting on Team Tickles. Every single one of these players.
Oh, what?
Okay, and they're going to find Force Major.
Like, no way. Thompson somehow reads Force's position in the tree line, so they get the kill under the darks here. Oh, I mean, they're trying to instantly TP top to set up with Nama along with Lorinov, but 9 class, what's the call? Is it going to have any boys to be able to come on over? Not in range for the chain, so another very difficult kill for them. No TP. I think Narman was able to read that though, so yeah, very nicely done from the bounty. They will eventually get this hoodwink, but it takes them so long. Look at the map. Mid shoved out. You got bottom being able to potentially take a T1 tower. You're inside their triangle, taking the ancients.
Yeah, it's pretty good here. I like the build on the hoodwink as well. He went for just 2 points in the bushwhack, maxed the scurry, went for the scurry evasion when active talent too. Just being very evasive and honestly annoying. Normally I'd see a lot of hoodwinks just max their first and second with 1 point in the scurry and then go for the bushwhack cooldown, but I've been very impressed with this build. It's just a different way of playing it from what I normally see. But regardless of that, it looks like Narman's dead.
He's dead, and maybe others as well if MC's able to catch up to own it.
Yep.
Finds him the last little bit of vision required. They've just been able to get nothing going for Team Tickles, and not only in this game, but the entire series as well. They're already instantly looking at TP mid, potentially setting up onto Tickles, who might make it out a little bit shy with the bushwhack.
And Thompson's going for the... I would say probably not objectively the best item for this game, but one of the swaggiest items for the game. Arcane Blink already online.
Okay. I didn't even... I saw he had Octarine. I'm like, okay. You know,
nah, this is you know, sometimes to just get places you need a car, but he went for the luxury car option.
Still feels like, as a whole, I mean, not, you know, this game in particular, just in general, like this item is maybe a little bit undiscovered with some of the buffs that we've seen to it. I mean, lower cooldown, the resources able to provide you just that extra jump range as well, mid lane. What's going on here, Force? A decent start, all things considered. Pure's going to try and mitigate some of the damage out of Olnit with the stun, and as a result, it means they're only going to get the kill into MC, and Pure's still going to be able to catch up to the Wind Ranger, so cannot escape back to the safety of his base. So it was not a bad start from Force at all, but in the end, it's not going to matter with Tundra's positioning.
Yeah. And you just don't have the BKB, right?
Oh, another pickoff.
Yeah, it's getting pretty rough here. I mean, it's been rough for a little while. There was a small moment where things were stabilizing, right? But the wheels totally fell off on that one, and I think just the Wind Ranger at this point just doesn't have the items needed to fight. Just a few minutes too slow, honestly, and I think that comes a lot down to the laning stage, right? I feel a lot of it comes down to participation. Ducalis, yeah, he's dead. He wants a high five, but
Snipe it. Oh, he missed.
They're just playing with their food at this point.
Wait, hang on. Meanwhile, Thompson and MC, they've just ran into Olnit at his high ground. Didn't see how that one started out, and now MC's already looking for more as well as Thompson. But the last little seconds out of the Rolling Thunder is able to catch up to Force and long-range Atos as well. One by one. It doesn't matter where they are from Tickles. I mean, Force is... that's pretty cute, but Blink surely? No way. Alright, Thompson's going to be able to jump over and follow. He's really making him work for it. I mean, this is quite an escape out of Darks here. got a trail that kind of is a bit of a beacon for MC, but
Dire's bottom
it's like he's
Yeah,
okay.
you can disable that technically, from the looks of it. Yeah, well, I mean, what more can you say? You know, it's like, great, Darkseer escaped. You know, at least that's not another death, I suppose. But at what point is this gonna come together? I would say, you know, I keep harping on Olnit and like this BKB. He's died like 3 times trying to farm this BKB already. And during those 3 deaths, every single core, not even just core, even supports have added +1 item to their inventory. Pretty sure the Hoodwink's item progression over the past 5 minutes has been better than... not even pretty sure, I'm 100% sure the Hoodwink's item progression has been better than Wind Ranger's over the last 5 minutes.
Oh, he's almost got a Gladney out of the Hoodwink, so alright, very cool.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we saw last game Tickles, they weren't the team that wanted to tap out early on when game was looking grim, and see if that's going to continue to be the case. 15,000 net worth lead. It's feeling like a desperation smoke out of them. And Pure is very far away from anyone, but it's not going to matter. He can pop BKB, 3,500 health they have to go through. He's taken a lot of damage though, but we'll be okay.
Yeah, he'll be fine. I mean, he potentially could have died there. Oh no, I guess with the harpoon.
Oh, Gibson's about to solo kill the Wind Ranger again.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's dead.
Dude, Thompson. Oh my god.
And I just want to see at this point Team Tickles just play it out, you know? And the reason for that... well, I guess it's a team fight. Or what if we call this a team fight?
It's a bit of a scrap going on. I don't know. Lorenov is trying to get some spells from afar and never feels too safe to be able to do so, though.
Because after game 1 and the resilience they had to just continue playing, I want to see that again throughout, like, I just want it to be their team identity, you know? Because if they were to call it early after being so resilient in game 1, to me that would show that the team potentially mentally were not in a great spot, right? But if that's just their motto, and they're just like, no, we're just going to play to the end no matter what, this is how we're going to do things, then I respect that.
See, it's never over till the very end, and I mean, it's still 87% for Tundra. So not die, but it's getting to that stage, so make a try into Thompson, but quick ag shot into the Rolling Thunder, and now with the vulnerability, it's going to give enough time for Tundra to be able to react to this. You've already got Pure jumping in with the stun onto 2. Silence is there as well. Lorenov trying to get out of the range from Pure and will be able to do so, but meanwhile, own it again. Without the possibility of a BKB to protect him inside the fights, he is free food, and Tundra 0 casualties.
Yeah, it's a bit rough. I like how a lot of these players have been realizing the power of the Light Collector. That tier 2 neutral item that a lot of people just think is garbage. It gives you an absurd amount of mana regen and HP regen. And I've been seeing it more and more picked up. And he's even choosing to hold on to this Light Collector over the Vindicator Sacks, which he just had. So it's kind of like showing the value of how much regen this actually gives you. And it's absurd, especially at nighttime when you're low on mana. And it gives you move speed too. I think this is something that also a lot of people didn't really understand for a while. But this item actually gives you a lot. It's not just being able to break and destroy the trees. That's like the most useless component, unless you're playing versus like a Monkey King, or in this case, a Nature's Prophet, right?
Case, yeah, I mean,
yeah, you can just kill the trees.
We don't have to mention if he actually puts a Clone Blade in the backpack, right? He doesn't need that item anymore. He's got his own free slot for a Clone Blade.
But I've been seeing a lot of players just get this regardless of the active, just because it gives you a lot more than what you expect. But I do like it this game versus NP. It's incredibly good.
Second loss out at Tower should go down fairly easily here from Tundra. 20,000 net worth lead. Let's see what the call is going to be from them. Of course, they've got plenty of time left to work with the Aegis. They want to brute force up this high ground or wait a little bit longer. They're not going to wait at all. God Strength activated for Pure.
Gotta be a little careful with this. I mean, you popped your God Strength.
MC. Nice slap from Lorenov. Destroys the Harpoon. Thompson's going to have to jump in to try and protect his Magnus, who is taking a decent chunk of damage. Own it finally with the BKB, but it's not going to be enough. Meanwhile, Pew over to the right side, deals with a couple of the supports. And Thompson still wreaking havoc on the backline as well. Doesn't get the finishing blow, but that's where Pew is able to come into play with a jump in. Assassinates Lorinov, who does have a buyback. You may look to go for it. I mean, you have no mag. God's strength is down. We'll see what the call is going to be from the boys on Darren. Yep, there's the buyback coming into play. You've got to get something, though. Lorinov, it's a pretty good chains onto 2. Pure one's out, though. BKB, TP, no hesitation. They're happy to cut their losses at 9 class.
All right. Signs alive. A couple buybacks required for that one, but it saves their barracks. And they also get a kill onto the Hoodwink as well. I think what really was good in that fight was you have to go way back to the beginning where they got the Magnus, right? The Mag tried to go on an Ember Spirit, which I think in hindsight, right? Maybe not the best target to go on if you are on the MC here on this Magnus, because he just remnanted it out, Sleight of Fist out. You're probably not going to do a skewer play onto an Ember specifically. And then he uses Manta, then,
Speaking of the Ember. Oh.
Speaking of Ember, yeah, that's not great. That's a dieback, by the way.
And they also see Force as well underneath the high ground ward, so Thompson instantly will move over towards the Darkseer's location. And they're going to get both heroes nearby as well. And yeah, there's no escape for Own It. You can try and pop the BKB. MC should get in range for the up. It's not even going to matter. A bash is there. The G's are dropped. And what a beatdown of a series for Tundra. This is so much momentum for them now leading into their next series in the upper bracket.
Yeah, they showed they're clearly the better team here. Team Tickles, they came in with an idea of how they wanted to play this game. Didn't work game number 1. Game number 2, they tried the same approach with a couple changes.